Hi, welcome back to the channel. A new patch means a new tier list, and I'm not going to waste your time. We're getting straight into it with the most recent changes, that being Astra stars going from 4 to 5, and Chamber having a little bit of a buff to the range of his rendezvous teleport like beacon location. So, Astra, I think that 1-star change is enough to bring her from a position in B back to A. I think compared to these other agents, the utility that she has, and the fact that she can use it globally is just enough to put her back up. I don't know if she's at the very top. She definitely can't compete with Omen in most aspects, except comfort. Obviously, players will pick Astra over Omen because of the comfort and the ability to make a wider variety of plays, but Omen's plays are more consistent. Now, Chamber. I'm pretty sure previously I had put this guy on C in my last list. This change is pretty substantial. I'm just pulling up the patch to check I'm correct. No, they haven't doubled it. They increased it by 5 meters. But those 5 meters are a lot. I think, honestly, I'm willing to put him at the top of B, maybe even low A. I mean, we haven't seen enough of it yet in action to actually tell whether the change is substantial enough to put him back into the meta. But I have no doubt that teams will be running Chamber. More teams will be running Chamber on maps, and you're going to see a lot more of him ranked. Now, straight into the duelist. So, Yoru going back into the A tier. I don't need to explain myself. You guys already know I love this guy. I think he's broken. Jett going just below Yoru. I think it's a matter of comfort between these two agents. If you can play... They offer slightly different things, but if you can play one of them better than the other, you should play that one. Raze straight into S tier. Despite the nerfs, people have been commenting a lot of these videos, right, about these nerfs and about these changes. Oh, Raze got nerfed. Oh, Viper got nerfed. They're so bad now. But I guarantee you did not notice these changes. All around kit, as a whole, she is one of the most well-rounded duelists. But I also have to say that Neon is kind of in a league of her own because she offers something the duelists don't. If you're playing against a good Neon, and a lot of you know this, sometimes it feels like you cannot do anything to win the game. That's why I main her. You don't see some rank. You don't actually see that many Neons in rank. And I think the reason is because she's extremely hard to play. She has a very high skill ceiling, and anyone telling you otherwise, there's a reason they're not playing the hero. Okay, Reyna, B tier, Iso B tier. They do the same thing. I've already had this discussion a million times before. They're just not amazing agents, like, for what they offer. If you're looking solely to get kills and you don't care about utility, then sure, there's an argument to be made that these are the strongest agents in the game. But I don't personally think that. I think they're really weak. And I think if you're having a bad game on these characters, you have nothing to offer. If you're having a bad game on Neon, or a bad game on Raze, or on Yoru, or on Jett, there is so much you can do. But on these two, if you're having a bad game, you are completely useless. Our final duelist, Phoenix. He's in the gutter in C tier. He's still not great. I don't think this guy has a place in the current meta, especially with all of the sentinels and stuff popping up. He has nothing to break utility. Like, his molly is on the ground. It cannot break tripwires because it's on the ground. His flashes are okay, and his ultimate's okay, but relying on those two to get you kills, the very inconsistent abilities, especially the ultimate, because you can just die through a smoke, and it costs 6 points to get. So you're getting this opportunity once every 3 rounds to actually make a play and to win a round, and you might just get shut down instantly anyway. So, now onto the initiators. I'm putting Breach in a solid A tier. I think Breach is pretty good right now. Not really much to say. The ultimate's always been good, you know. Stun's always been good. Cross-range impact. Especially if you're a player that likes to IGL your games. I think Breach is the perfect agent to do that. Gekko, straight S tier. People saying this guy isn't S tier is crazy. You can use all of his abilities multiple times per round. They give you info. They just have crazy value, all of them. You get a 6th player every round in Wingman, and you could use an ult 2 times per round. It's ridiculous. The amount of times that you get Gekko ult. And I just remember something, by the way. If you kill someone who's ult, like, stunned by the Gekko ult, I'm pretty sure you get another point. I don't know if that's true, but it feels that way because you can snowball so hard with it. Anyway, this guy's S. Fade, A tier. I don't really see the S tier potential, but she's definitely a strong agent, a strong, like, alternative pickup to the other recon, right, in Sova. And on maps like Lotus, she is, I think, an S. Because there's so many possibilities for eyes. The dogs are so good at clearing out corners, which there are a lot of on Lotus. Seasonade, any map where Raze is good, Fade will be good too, because of the Seasonade combo. Ultimate, same thing with Yoru. Any map where Yoru is good, Fade will be good, like Bind, because of the Yoru ult, Fade ult. the silence, the deafen, that kind of thing. Same thing with Astra a bit. So A tier, no complaints there. KO, I've had a change of heart. I don't actually think KO is S tier. I think he's probably more low A tier. My reasoning for this is the knife can be consistent, but that information is very easy to be faked, and the flashes are really hard to use. The molly only really gets value if you're using lineups. There's a lot of lineups on this character, you can't wing it. It's not like Sova where you could wing like your entire kit because you have bounces and get insane value. Although the ultimate is very strong, and honestly it's worth picking this character for the ultimate alone, especially on maps like Ascent in ranked, because sometimes you won't have a competent player who's able to break those trips, or you won't even be able to default, and you might just be losing countless rounds, but you're picking up the orbs, and that allows you to get your ultimate, and you can win a round, and off that one round you can snowball the entire game. But if you have lineups, I think he becomes S tier. Sova, straight A tier. You don't need to be good at this agent to get value from him, but the difference between a bad Sova and an amazing Sova is incredible, and it's crazy because both of them are still in the S tier. Just having this guy on your team is like there's some kind of aura around him. He just brings something that no other agent brings to the table. You don't need to aim your darts to get good value out of them. You can wing them, and your ultimate is pretty self-explanatory. This guy has been in S tier for like literally since the start of the game. It's not going to change unless they nerf him into the ground, which they won't. I didn't even mention Owl Drone, by the way, which is like crazy ability. Skye, A tier. I think people were sleeping on Skye. I think that she is better than Fade and KO. I think we were all a bit hurt by the nerfs. I didn't put her down a tier, but people were hurt by the nerfs. They thought because it's not rechargeable, she's not that good anymore. She might be okay on some maps, but she's not amazing. You can't run her on every map. Most of the time, people weren't even getting value out of the refreshes on the flashes anyway. I think the rest of her kit is still really strong. If you like playing Skye, play Skye. That's it for the initiators. Now we're on to the Centaurs. Let's start with Sage. C tier. Sage is just not good. Like, I might actually put Sage D tier. Killjoy, A tier. A lot of stuff you do with Sage. Very versatile. Swap it out on different maps, you know. You can do whatever you want. I think in many cases, she is won over by Cypher. And I remember I had this discussion with ComSecond recently. In many cases, Killjoy is won over completely by Cypher, because Cypher has the trips that recharge, and you can play with them and you can kill them. But on some maps where the trips are useless, like Icebox, the value you get from pure delay and from the ultimate, especially, the ultimate is the key part of this agent that I want to touch on. The ultimate alone is enough to rival Cypher on a lot of maps. Cypher in S tier does so much, infuriating to play against, especially in ranked. You can run this guy on pretty much every map. I think the hype around him has died a bit because we've learned that you can just break the trips. This change has forced players, especially in lower echelons of the game's rank system, to learn how to break trips. So actually everyone's utility usage skill has gone up like massively from that. But he's still S tier because you will have rounds where you don't have any utility to break the trip, or you just don't know it's there and you get hit by it and you're dying through walls, through smokes. It's just really good at holding on the site. And plus the camera. People don't talk about this, but the camera has to be one of the most broken abilities in the game. It's like a 30-second cooldown, even when it gets broken. Like, it respawns when it gets broken. You can put it anywhere, and it gets information down the entire line. If a Cypher gets a camera deep in enemy territory, you've won the round. Actually ridiculous. Vyse. I think Vyse is A tier. My reasoning is I think she does a pretty similar thing to Killjoy. It doesn't have the mollies, but she has the two thorn vine path things. Ultimate also really good on attack. And for retakes, it's a very versatile ultimate. And the flash is good as well. Gives you stuff to play around. Alternative kit to Killjoy. I think Vyse is actually very strong. Deadlock's similar situation with Phoenix, right? Why would you play Deadlock when you can play any of these three? I don't know. You tell me. I think she has a fun kit for sure. There's some cool setups you can do. And the wall is nice if you can combo it with a smoke or with your trips and you can kill people while they're spamming it. She has a lot of delay, but apart from that, once all of the utility is gone, you are forced off the site completely. You cannot play on the site, and you do not have an ultimate that allows you to get back on, right? Cypher can't really be forced off of sites because of his camera and his trips. These two can, but their ultimates allow them to retake the site effectively. Deadlock ultimate does not allow you to do that. They aren't equipped with similar kits of similar skill levels. It's like the difference between these three and Deadlock is massive. Now, the rest of the controllers. Brimstone, B tier. I think he's good. He's good on buy, not really anything else. Better than all three of these, like high B tier, maybe low A tier, but he's good. You know, Molly's good, lineup's good, ult's good. Right, it's like his kit is good. It's just it doesn't have the range compared to the other controllers. So actually, I've just sold myself. I'm putting Grim in the A tier instead. High B tier. I think similar situation as Chamber, right? Let's just think about this for a second. They both give players, duelist players that don't want to play controller or don't want to play sentinel, the ability to play those two agents and nothing really much more. It's the entire point of their kits is just based around fighting, and they don't really play the role that well. Like, the smokes aren't amazing on Clove's kit. I don't know. I'm just not entirely sold. Omen straight into S tier. I honestly think Omen is the strongest agent in the entire game. I'm not going to explain why, because you all know. Viper, low A tier. I think on the maps where you need to play Viper, she's incredibly good. I don't think she's S tier anymore. Maybe influenced a bit by my comment section. On maps like Lotus, Sunset, Haven, there is play for Viper. Especially, you will see Viper a lot in these maps because she acts and takes over the Sentinel role. But in terms of the general game, you can swap a Viper out for a Sentinel, and the change is kind of minimal. In Pro, it's important, right? Because it gives you more variety if you can play the Viper, because you can play the double smokes, the double initiator. But in terms of ranked, you're never going to get that to happen. Very pro-specific agent, or high-tier specific agent. For that reason, I'm just putting it as Arbor. So I had some guy comment, like, Ludi Lu wouldn't be appreciative of this. I'm like, my recent tier list, because I put Harbor as the lowest agent in the game. I don't know who Ludi Lu is. I am going to assume that he is a Harbor one-trick. Sorry, Ludi Lu. I don't think Harbor's good. I just really don't think he's good. I'm going to put him in C tier just for you. But between these two, if I have a Harbor on my team, and like if I have a solo Viper, I can work with that. If I have a solo Harbor, the game is over. It's just over. Like, we have just lost the entire game. Anyway, that's my tier list for patch 9.05. If you agree, disagree, don't forget to let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bro fist.